All right, guys, what's going on? Mark Frank Montoya, never a case of the Mondays. Tonight, you're going to get so much value. This is priceless what you're about to learn. How to get people to actually show up and enroll themselves into the business, into your business, without even caring or knowing what it is, okay? Because that's kind of the hardest part, right? Getting people to show up. So I'm going to move right into it. I'm going to load this up right here. And we're going to move fast, okay? So this is a webinar, how to get them to show up and enroll themselves into the business before they even know what it is. So remove all distractions, shut off your phone. I'm giving you the full attention. You got to give me the full attention because this is going to pay off for you big time, okay? Shut off your TV, lock yourself in another room if you have kids. Don't let anything else or anybody else get in your way, because if you don't have a plan for your life, somebody else does, right? So grab a pen and pad, and you're going to have to watch this over and over again to really absorb. You're going to have to learn this, kind of write it down, go out into the field, practice, come back, consult with it, and come back. So in this webinar real quick, and I'm going to move fast, okay? So I'll leave this up for you for a little bit to grab a hold of this thing. But you're going to get them to actually show up for themselves, right? That's a big challenge for a lot of people. You're going to learn how to avoid unmotivated quicksand, and I'll explain what that is. And then discover the difference between recruiting versus enrolling. There's a huge difference, right? You don't want to recruit people. You want to get them to enroll into their own vision, okay? This is going to give you credibility, a ton of respect. You're going to learn how to, stop the pushing and pulling energy, chasing people, and just create effortless attraction for yourself. And then you're going to create self-motivated leaders who actually inspire other people rather than recruiting unmotivated, unmotivatable, or even motivatable people, right? People are motivatable, but when you leave, then maybe they're not so motivated, right? So how do you get them to be motivated? I'm going to show you that. And then the bonus is at the end, okay? So we're going to have meaningful conversations. We're going to learn and really discover how to have a meaningful conversation, because people really, most of the time, they're not listening. They're kind of just waiting for their chance to talk next. So they're thinking about what they're going to say next. They're not really listening. So we're talking about meaningful conversations, being present and listening to people so you can actually help them get what they want. And now the global agenda, we're going to talk about agendas here, okay? The global agenda is learning a method to become more effective with your communication. And then the specific agenda is really about prospecting and enrolling. Your skills are going to be enhanced. Business growth, personal relationships are going to be improved, and this is what's going to happen, okay? 6 steps and then a 7th, but these are the main 6 steps for communication. Okay, a real meaningful conversation. The 3 you're going to want to write down right away. Write down the circle, cut it in 3s, because these are the most important first 3 steps. They can be in any order, but here it goes, okay? The agenda. Always clear the agenda with people. And you want to be on their agenda, not just your agenda. See, that's where the energy gets weird, right? When people like they got their own thing. They got their motives, right? They're into, they have their own agenda. They don't care about mine. So you want to care about their times. Clear the time. Hey, how much time do we have? Okay, you got 20 minutes. Cool. Then I know to squeeze my stuff in 20 minutes. If I'm sitting there talking in 30 minutes after that, that's not the agenda, man. They got to be at work, right? They're not listening to anything you're saying. They're like, oh, man, it's messing up my agenda, messing this up. So they're not listening, right? That's a specific agenda. Or like, what are we here for? So what are we going to get out of today? Do you guys know why you're here, right? If you mess up the agenda, like say the agenda was to go, they thought you were going to go have beers at the bar, or go to dinner, have a mellow coffee or something. They don't want to be tricked into a different agenda, your agenda, which is like spilling them on your deal, right? So if you mess that up, then the agenda is off, the energy is off. All 3 things have to be in place. Okay, next, positioning. This is so very important to be edified, right? Or edify your upline to position them so they can go into that 3rd step, which is a fact, fill, find. If we go into a fact, fill, find, like, hey, well, tell me about yourself. Tell me your story. It's like, well, I have to tell you who are you, right? If you're not positioned. One way to position is to, you want to gain credibility and authority. Sometimes when we get into the business, we don't have that credibility. We don't have the authority. So I teach people to, have blog sites, create their own site. It gives you some credibility. You can market and brand yourself online. That's what I had to do. I had to reposition with friends, family, and the rest of the cold market out there on Facebook. And when you're branded, when you become the authority of the subject, you can go into a fact fill find to try to help and find out how you can help people, right? This is so very important. That's why they always say tee up your upline, like, like a golf tee, right? Put that golf ball on the tee because it can go higher and farther when you put it up on that tee. You got to tee somebody up. And so if if you don't have somebody to tee you up, that's why you get branding, right? And you can reposition with your story. Okay, so how you get people to show up for themselves is you can position with your story, a very powerful, compelling, inspiring story on how you really feel. And I have a couple posts that you can look for that'll teach you how to build your story, because they don't care what it is. They do not care what it is. They care about why you're doing it. And if your why resonates with their why, they're going to attract rather than, try to run away from you, right? You don't have to spill anybody. You can tell your story, slip into your story, and then at the end of your story, go into a factful find and say, hey, tell me about this, tell me about that. And see, like I said, in any order. So you can ask people all about themselves, dig down into, what their life is about, what motivates them, why do they go to work, dig down into, at first they're going to be in a headspace, a thinking space, right? When you ask them, hey, what do you do? Oh, I'm a teacher. Nice. What do you teach? Tell me more, right? See those words under number 3? Tell me more about that. Oh, I teach biology. No way. How'd you get into that? Be curious and interested, not like on Facebook where everybody's trying to be interesting, right? You want to be interested. You don't have to do any spilling or talking or convincing or selling or pushing or dragging. None of that. All you have to do is be interested. Don't pounce on people. If you find one thing like, I'm so tired. Oh, I got some energy stuff for you. I got some nutrients, whatever. You wait for 3, 4, 5, 6 things that they really want or they hate or the pains in their life so you can finally get a solution. So you want to go into that fact, fill, find. And here's the main key about those first 3 points. If any one of these points isn't in place, okay, the energy will be off. Say you didn't clear the agenda, right? The time. Well, the energy's off. Or say you did clear the time and you did do the fact, fill, find, but you weren't positioned. Well, they're not going to be listening because who are you, right? You're not positioned with them. You're not the authority of the subject or anything. Or say you did have positioning, you did have the agenda set, but you didn't take the time to care about them and ask them about themselves. So they're just like, well, forget this guy, man. Yeah, he's Mr. Big Shot, Mr. Big Pants, right? But he doesn't care about me. He only cares about his own agenda, right? So you have to have all those things in place. Write it down. Write it on your hand. I used to write it on my hand to make sure I have those in place. Okay, now number 4. This is key. You're going to listen for that, and you don't go into a spiel or present. There's no real presentation. That should actually say the invite, okay? You don't give the presentation at the invitation. And what I mean by that is you're going to listen, and then you're going to say, well, what it really it sounds like you're all about is this and that, right? You're all about your kids, and you want to be around them or whatever. And you get very clear, make sure you're clear on that. And then you invite them based on that. You present a solution and an invite and an appointment. So it's like, hey, if I was able to, actually show you how to get what you just said you wanted, would that be something you'd even take a look at? And you let them process what you just said, right? You got clear on what they said they wanted. I have never had a no. And I always get people to show up because they're showing up for themselves, right? And I don't go into the presentation. I set the appointment and then I drop it, right? See where it says pause, shut up, right? You invite them based on what they said they wanted. You set an appointment. Hey, you know what? All right, so this is what we're going to do. And then you give them 3 steps. Let's set this appointment. I'm going to call you in a day or so and confirm. And then I'm going to show you, or introduce you to some people that can help you get what you said, what you just said you wanted. All right, cool. Boom. And that opens the door to the next exposure, opens the door to the next, steps, right? And you can actually ask them, okay, cool. What would so what do you want the next steps to be? Should we meet on Tuesday? Okay, cool. Boom. And you got these things, you have these things in place, but you never had to go into a presentation. That way, you set the appointment. Now, when they're going to know the agenda when they show up, and they're going to show up for themselves, not you. They're going to show up on their own agenda. They're already closed into the business before they even know what it is. All right, they're showing up to find a solution, to look at a solution that can get them to what they said they wanted. Okay, this is key. Now, back to positioning, the seventh step. When you're branded online, right? Or you learn how to market online, and you have a blog, and you know what to do. I have a system that teaches you how to market your business online and get your information in front of people that are already interested in what you have. There's social media platforms like Facebook where you can learn how to target exactly who you want to work with, and the people that are already interested in what you have, and they literally come at you with credit card in hand. You can generate leads for your business, maybe even multiple streams of income from a blog, a website, be able to help all kinds of different people get what they want. And that is just a game changer where you have people coming to you. It's called attraction marketing. Okay. And it is called network marketing, right? Being able to market your business online, right? Not go around chasing disinterested skeptics at Starbucks doing the one-on-one linear thing. You need to leverage, and you can get to so many more people and leverage your numbers game online. And that is going to be key, because when you're branded, you have your own site, which is pretty simple to be able to learn how to, have a nice site and put out value that gives you credibility, the authority of the subject, and people only buy from people they know, like, and trust. Okay, so when you're able to tell your story, a compelling story which helps brand you and position you, then people are listening to you, and you have respect, and you will attract people into your business. It's a pull, energy rather than a push energy or chasing. It's more like an attraction energy, right? And that really does happen. Okay, so let me go back and just make sure I'm going over everything and get them to show up. Okay, here's one: unmotivated versus self-motivated, right? When you connect people and you do a deeper fact fill find. Let's go back to number 3. When you have a good position, then you're able to say, well, tell me more about what you're looking for, right? Because that's good from your position. Now you can go into a deeper fact fill find where you really find out what they want. Now when you're able to find out and help them get very clear on what they said they wanted, when you show them the solution, right, they are unstoppable. They're self-motivated. You're no longer dragging them over the goal line, kicking and screaming, trying to get them to do these actions. If you're able to, and I'm going to have some trainings on this, if you're able to align them with their core values, what is really important to them deep inside, and you show them the steps that they have to take to get to that core value, they will say, just show me what to do and get out of the way. They'll be self-motivated, and no more kind of dragging people, right? That's where 80% of your frustration comes, is the people that you bring in, that you unconsciously brought in, that are motivatable or even unmotivatable, right? And then the ones that are motivatable, they're able to be motivated. That's not good enough. That's like 80% of the people. You need self-motivated leaders, and even the motivators, the inspirers. And so when you're able to teach them how to build their story, get it branded online, leverage the numbers game, they inspire many more people, they attract more people, and your business explodes. And this is highly duplicatable. Okay, so the last step is down below. If you want to learn this next level strategy stuff online, then there's links right below the video. There might be a watch more button. Click more, or just throw your email in. You're going to get a 10-day free bootcamp of what attraction marketing really is and how it works. And it is a game changer. No more chasing, being the hunter guy that, chases everybody around. You can be the hunted, and people will attract to you. That takes a little bit of learning, but it's so game changing for you. Saves you tons of time and money. And then this thing is fun. Done right, it's a dream. Done wrong, the linear old school way that worked 10 years ago for people, that's a nightmare. Okay, so done right, it's a dream. You're gonna love it. So put your name in there, and we'll see you on the other side. Talk soon. Later, guys.